Hello everyone, and now welcome to a 1v1 matchup between Foggy and XiaoKai. This game taking place here on Autumn Leaves 2.0. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on when you're watching this and how you're watching it. Thank you for clicking on this thumbnail, and I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 matchup between Foggy and XiaoKai. XiaoKai has spawned as the blue orc on the top right hand side of the map. Gonna go ahead and speed things up to that 2-minute mark for me as we are getting up an Ultra of Storms. Looks like it will be Blade Master Grunt to start things off. Meanwhile, on the bottom left, we are looking at Keeper of the Grove with well, nope, there's that Ancient of War off to the side all the way over there. All right. Keeper of the Grove, Ancient of War, Treant opening coming in from Foggy. Meanwhile, XiaoKai opening things up with that Blade Master. Most likely will be selling some items, picking up some healing salves, maybe a scroll of speed as well as things get underway. Ancient of War already in position here, tanking a little bit of damage. Keeper of the Grove gonna summon up some treants and now perhaps go after that one peon there. The peon is actually getting in a little bit of damage across all of these units, and now looking to actually back away here. So far though, Blade Master does have Windwalk and may be trying to steal that little bit of experience there onto that one unit. There goes the peon. Blade Master continuing to rack up a little bit of damage. There's that Windwalk strike, trying to buy that time for the Windwalk to actually come to an end, as there's 3 treants here now. Damage starting to, well, add up across multiple units. Grunt trying to get in the way, perhaps going to try and take down that Archer. Archer looks like it will get taken down. Who's going to get the experience there? Keeper of the Grove does not get the experience. Blade Master gets the experience. I believe, actually no, Keeper of the Grove could have gotten the experience. Maybe the Ancient of War actually got that final shot off there. Yeah, it looks like the Ancient of War got killed. The Blade Master was able to take down the Archer, and then the Keeper of the Grove only sitting at 73 experience here as the fighting is getting underway. Ancient of War trying to absorb as much damage as it possibly can, as the Blade Master, now down to 72 hit points, is going to be able to get away there, down to 56. Blade Master does have double circlets of nobility, but didn't buy any early healing salves, interestingly enough, and now forced to retreat all the way back home. XiaoKai playing a little bit of a dangerous game there. Meanwhile, Foggy's Keeper of the Grove low on mana, low on experience. Blade Master actually coming out slightly ahead here, but forced to retreat all the way back home in order to heal up. Also, no Clarity Potion being picked up in this instance, only using that healing salve. Perhaps going to try and do a little bit of creeping while that Grunt absorbs the majority of the damage. Now, interesting opening by both sides. Both sides taking the tier 2 relatively fast. We're not going to see very large armies coming in from either side here, except for Foggy picking up a Forest Troll, Shadow Priest, and Forest Troll Berserker. It's going to be double backing around the other way. It may be spotted by that Blade Master. Blade Master not trying to make its way down across here. Is it going to accidentally, well, yes, engage against some of these creeps as well? There's a Wisp right here, and this may be a monstrous mistake by XiaoKai, absorbing once more a lot of damage, and will need another healing salve charge in order to stay alive here. Meanwhile, a Tree of Life is already in position, trying to expand here on the bottom right hand side of the map, as the Keeper of the Grove now making its way off in from the north. Treants making their way here. Keeper of the Grove does get to level 2. We are looking at that Tree of Life, well, expanding at this bottom right-hand position. Meanwhile, Blade Master going after the Kobold Geomancers and the Tunnelers here. A bit of slow applied to all of these units, as we are looking at an expansion as well. Both sides setting up the expansions here, so we may have a long macro-style game here, unless each side is able to put in pressure and perhaps try and shut down their opponents. Forest Troll Berserker, Forest Troll Shadow Priest, Treants here looking to clean up the Rogue, Brigand, and all of these Wizards here, as more creeps coming in off from the north. Not quite sure where that giant skeletal warrior, that's quite a walking distance. Not quite sure why it actually walked that far. Perhaps it was aggroed a bit earlier and, well, changed the AI a bit. Now, we are looking at a Shadow Hunter here. Shadow Hunter could be used for those Serpent Wards. Meanwhile, Alchemist does have Acid Bomb as that ability. So, interestingly, not interestingly, we are looking at Acid Bomb. Perhaps we're going to be going into piercing damage with those archers, as we are getting up a second Ancient of War. All right, I wasn't quite expecting 2 Ancients of War in this matchup here, but Acid Bomb does allow for, well, better focus fire with archers with that 700 range and their improved marksmanship. That damage does really scale up rather high and can be rather deadly. You can see the expansion at the north side has also been cleared up as well. I'm interested to see how all of this game is going to go down now, as the expansion off to the north has been cleared, and now the Keeper of the Grove just using or working alongside that Alchemist to clear out more of these northern creep camps. Normally, you don't really need that many expansions if you're trying to go for mass archers. So we can see that there's Forest Troll Berserker, Forest Troll Shadow Priest. Back at home, Foggy sitting on a decent number of Moonwells, but not doing much with it. Meanwhile, the Blade Master here is able to clear out this creep camp completely unhindered and unopposed, as a couple of those tree ants are now, well, just losing their time to life. Shadow Hunter also getting in a bit of quick action as well, finally getting to level 2 for that healing wave. Will be able to bounce around as we see some shamans joining in on the battlefield. Blade Master now heading off to the north here. Meanwhile, Keeper of the Grove, Alchemist trying to take down this bestiary. It looks like it will be able to delay this tech building. And although it's only a short delay, it will delay all of those raiders and Kodo beasts as well. The timing to try and get that first Kodo beast, that first raider, always key, as that building needs to be completed. Is it being rebuilt somewhere else? No, not quite yet, as the tree ants are now once again joining in on the fight, trying to take down this burrow. Keeper of the Grove down to 208 hit points. Are we going to see another critical strike? No. It's Staff of Teleportation in time to try and head back home, and now with that Pendant of Energy, we'll have plenty of mana again. All right, delaying another Orc burrow again, so we're just seeing, well, a limited number of units being cranked out. Meanwhile, the Shadow Hunter should be able to get to or get very close to level 3 here. There we go, level 3 now, picking up, well, no sign, nope, level 2 Serpent Wards for more poking damage. Meanwhile, the Alchemist only still sitting at level 1 after all this time. It feels like he's been out on the battlefield quite some time, as we are actually transitioning into Huntresses, not the archers that I originally thought. We do see a couple of Forest Troll Berserkers, so there's some ranged piercing damage there as well. But the Huntress's glaive bounce damage may be the more important factor in this battle. Foggy going for tier 2 mainly only for the Alchemist, and now, well, playing a much more tier 1 style army. All right, in comes a little bit of poking damage. The Serpent Wards are there. Level 2 Serpent Wards means very strong piercing damage against those unarmored units, as the Tree of Life trying to crank up more and more wisps, but unable to get those detonations down on to the shamans and all of these Serpent Wards here. A wall of Serpent Wards poking across that could cause some serious problems. Archers not anywhere nearby to actually poke some of these units down, as we're looking at a healing ward placed down by the Alchemist to keep this army alive. Tree ants are now coming in from the back as well, as there is just a major fight going on here. Acid Bomb going down, Scroll of Protection to try and counteract. Alchemist continuing to push. We can see that the healing ward is in that back position, adding in a bit of healing spray as well, but one Huntress not lucky enough to, well, be healed up in time. Meanwhile, dual level 3 heroes by the Orc with those level 2 Serpent Wards really dishing out quite a bit of damage, as Foggy is just spending so much gold on all of these mercenaries. Spending gold on mercenaries, well, they are a little bit more expensive than training up your own, but you don't have to, well, invest in the tech for them. But after a while, buying your 3rd or 4th Forest Troll Berserker, it may actually be better to get more archer upgrades than trying to continue to crank out more of those units off of there. All right, in comes, I believe, a Staff of Teleportation, or is that a... Well, no, that's a Scroll of Town Portal. So the Keeper of the Grove now coming back across here with the Scroll of Town Portal. There's a healing ward as well. Ogre Mauler healing nicely, as the Alchemist wants to get up to level 3. Meanwhile, the very strong army by XiaoKai just testing the waters and having a little bit of a standoff. This is good for Foggy though, because the longer this game goes, the more this economic advantage is going to give Foggy just more gold in the bank to try and run some sort of counterplay. All right, Archer about to get taken down. It does end up falling, but well, losing 140 like 140 gold Archer compared to the amount of gold that Foggy's being able to pump out of this mine is still giving Foggy that advantage. All right. XiaoKai realizes he's not really going to win out on a battle just trying to camp in his opponent's spot. He needs to set up an expansion of his own to neutralize that economic advantage as we, well, don't see Foggy with the ultra, well, with the moon wellspring upgrades just quite yet. All right, one rooted ancient protector will get cleaned up here. Foggy going into low upkeep now. Perhaps Foggy is going to be playing that, well, low upkeep a mid-70s size army, but not very high in tech to try and challenge all of these grunts, serpent wards, and shamans. The shamans, however, with that purge, should be able to deal with those treants very easily, as we're looking at XiaoKai now setting up an expansion off to the north, and Foggy setting up an ancient protector to try and counteract it. Ogre Mauler on the way over. Alchemist is sitting at level 3, has some items as well. Scroll of Healing, Scroll of Protection, dual Scrolls of Healing across both heroes. Meanwhile, the Shadow Hunter actually having quite a few number of items here. You can see a potion of mana, wand of mana stealing, and dual mantles of intelligence. That Shadow Hunter will be able to place down a lot of serpent wards again as the huntresses are trying to come in from behind and put in a bit of protection. Shamans are now getting purged, or those purges off against all those units, as the alchemist is getting off some healing sprays across all of these units here. All right, some big damage onto a huntress. He's trying to retreat. No, gonna go ahead and shadow meld in that frontline position. Meanwhile, acid bomb dealing ticking damage over time as the Huntress's bounce is trying to finish off some of those units. More healing spray could be used up. Blade Master perhaps going to find a couple of these shadow melded units and now trying to hide against Scroll of Protection. Healing spray keeping these units alive and well. A lot of low hit point grunts could get cleaned up here. Glaive bounce could find their targets. We're looking at 48 supply compared to 57 as the Serpent Wards are still continuing to poke. Archers do have that improved range, able to outrange those Serpent Wards ever so barely to try and finish them off, as the grunts are now just knocking on the front door here. All right, Ogre Mauler trying to retreat back here. Shaman's trying to purge back away. Level 4 now on the Shadow Hunter, and this is a complete bloodbath. The lines are not drawn anywhere cleanly, and who is going to come out better? Foggy down to 50 supply compared to 46, but then again, XiaoKai wasn't that high on the supply count to begin with. Dual level 4 on XiaoKai's hero, so a 1 level advantage, but it's only an even level advantage for now. Meanwhile, off to the north here, treants and an ancient protector looking to, well, take down this great hall as it is currently being repaired as well. Going to take a little bit of time to regroup. Shadow Hunter use that potion of mana, still has some wand of mana stealing to perhaps place down some more serpent wards as XiaoKai looks to defend this expansion location and hopefully re-equalize that economic, well, the economic portion of this game. All right, what's going down here? Huntress is looking to clean up the Null Assassins here. Actually, well, Huntress getting 2 units surrounded and now shadow melding to try and stay alive. More poking getting across here as the Keeper of the Grove bringing in some treants as well. Off to the north, though, the Ancient Protector is just going to get shot down. A Shadow Hunter and a Blade Master there to easily defend, as Foggy not following up with that defense as I originally thought. Couple more, well, creeps getting finished off here as we're looking at level 4 on that Keeper of the Grove and now nearly level 4 on that Goblin Alchemist. Item drop there, Potion of Greater Healing, going to be a nice item for, well, whichever hero tries to pick it up. There we are, Keeper of the Grove taking it away. 30 minutes of Vampire Survivor is a freak. All right, coming back around, a Blade Master looking to finish off the Sasquatch, Forest Troll Berserker, and Forest Troll Trapper. Shadow Hunter, Blade Master inching closer towards level 5 will be difficult to get there off of creeps unless they start to go after those red and orange creep camps. Meanwhile, back off to the north here, this rather wide army heading off to the north, perhaps going to try and clear up this great hall before it ends up producing too many units, as the glaive bounce already getting underway to try and take down this great hall here. There's acid bomb as well. That glaive bounce is going to rack up quite a bit as we see a scroll of town portal to try to get everyone back over here to the expansion. Is the expansion going to get taken down? Yes, it is going to get taken down. No scroll of town portal was actually needed. The scroll of town portal was canceled because the building was destroyed. As I missed 13 minutes of this game. No problem. The opening segment of this game, so far, Foggy's had the economic advantage and the supply advantage, but hasn't been able to really translate that into a distinctive advantage on the battlefield. We're looking at 1-2 upgrades coming in from the Orc army. Meanwhile, still 1-1 upgrades coming in from the Night Elf. Foggy staying at tier 2 and now getting 2-1 upgrades as well. Still looking at only, the standard Moonwell capacity. It's not healing up any faster, and that does surprise me. Without Druids of the Claw to provide some additional healing, you normally need to find another strategy to heal up as Night Elf, and those upgraded Moonwells do exactly that. And since you need Moonwells anyways, no reason not to get them. All right, Grunts knocking at the door here. No pillage on any of these Moonwells either, as the archers are just poking across here. Archers 18 to 24 damage, a pretty big damage across the board here, as the Blade Master does use Mirror Image to try and break free. Coming back around, archers continuing to poke across here. Healing spray, Grunt, Blade Master getting up to level 5. Shadow Hunter perhaps right behind here, maybe able to get even more Serpent Wards, as well as the Blade Master coming in with some big Wind Walk and critical strikes. Plus 5 damage. They're going to try to go after the Huntress. Huntress about to get taken down. There it goes as well. Both sides still fighting their way through. Grunts continuing to knock positions here, as the archers are now looking to back up again. More damage poking on through. Blade Master once again using Mirror Image to break free from an entangle right there, as the units fall back once more. All right, Mirror Image going to get shot down there. And the Alchemist and the Keeper of the Grove still sitting at level 4. Meanwhile, Blade Master and that Shadow Hunter sitting at level 5. Shadow Hunter opting for level 3 healing wave, since Foggy has decided to instead invest heavily into archers over huntresses. All right. In my opinion, Moonwells. Moonwells definitely have more utility, but I'm sure there's many times when you're getting gargoyle harassed, you wish you had at least one ancient protector. Coming back around, we see the Pit Lord as the third and final hero. It does pull off a Howl of Terror, as now the Pit Lord able to get healed up by that healing wave. All right, Howl of Terror greatly reducing the amount of damage across the board that the Night Elf army is dealing, as the Pit Lord is in the back position here. Blade Master only dealing 112 critical strikes, because it only has level 1 critical strike here and level 2 Mirror Image. That actually is a bit of a surprise there. I thought it would be level 2 critical strike, level 1 Mirror Image. Not quite sure what is going on there, as those Mirror Images do deal a little bit of damage, but also give experience as well. All right, more poking coming back across from those sentry wards there. If you were wondering why we weren't seeing big numbers from those critical strikes, that is exactly why the Blade Master only has level 1 critical strike and only plus 9 damage. Back off to the north, that Great Hall was reconstructed. We are at tier 3 coming across from the Orc army. Meanwhile, Night Elf still staying at tier 2, as the Alchemist now makes its way off to the north. All right. This is a weird situation to be in, as the Pit Lord is still going to be able to benefit from creeping. Meanwhile, a little bit of damage onto that archer trying to poke away. No purge to try and stop the archer. That would have been a certain death, as there's just enough units there. Still, XiaoKai sitting at 53 supply compared to 64, as the Shadow Hunter now scrolling off Town Portal to try and defend this expansion location. Main gold mines are starting to run out of gold. Only a minute left. There's a Howl of Terror across the entire Night Elf army in that frontline spot, as both sides are fighting their way through. Ogre Mauler trying to retreat back, as that Howl of Terror, Scroll of Protection, so much going on here, and even adding in Thorn's Aura. All right, so the Keeper of the Grove opted to go for level 2 Thorns or a level 1 Entangle. These abilities are just not what I was expecting at all, as the Blade Master continuing to use that mirror image to try and focus down some of these units. Howl of Terror, well, Pit Lord getting shut down there, but only sitting at level 1, will resurrect pretty quickly as the Alchemist gets to level 5 as well. Level 5 Alchemist, level 5 Keeper of the Grove. Keeper of the Grove trying to stay alive in that frontline spot. Blade Master trying to chase down some of these other units. Does have Bloodlust, so that Bloodlusted Blade Master really slicing and dicing his way through a lot of these targets. You can see only 112 critical strike, though, not finishing off those units cleanly at all. 49 supply now compared to 56. Mass archers, well, trying to finish off more of those units. For sure, Shadow Priest going to get healed up. Alchemist gets sent back home to perhaps use up a clarity potion and perhaps get some healing sprays off as well. All right, expansion down to the south. Well, about 7 minutes of mining left. This expansion has plenty of mining still going for it, as well, Foggy is going to perhaps need a transition over to this location here. I don't believe the creep camp has been cleared out. Clear it out and set up a new base. It's currently sitting on one base to one base. Foggy has not been able to do much with that economic advantage, as XiaoKai has been trading efficiently still. All right. As the Tree of Ages gets over into that position here, what is Foggy? What is Foggy's follow-up plan? Treants are all right here, and in comes, well, the shamans and all of these units here. Detonations, well, not even going down, as well, lost in a transit, so to speak. Meanwhile, off to the north here, Foggy's saying, you know what, is this going to give me opportunity to try and take down the Great Hall while your army is away? But this is a purely piercing damage army and magic damage army, aside from these treants, meaning that that Great Hall, well, is not going to be taking too much damage. All right, treants actually positioned in a pretty poor spot, unable to get to all of those targets. Meanwhile, we see a big Howl of Terror being used again. The Pit Lord, also with Cleave, trying to fight in that frontline spot as well. Healing Wave, well, completely used out already. Shadowhunter does have a wand of mana stealing. Perhaps could try and take mana from that Alchemist and then give it back, and then try and heal up on that Shadowhunter, as well as the Blade Master ends up getting taken down at level 5. A final archer arrow in the back. Level 5 Blade Master falls as the Alchemist continue to able to heal up all of these units again and again. Howl of Terror. Yeah, that wand of mana stealing charge was not used up earlier, and because of that healing wave could not save those heroes. 36 supply compared to 39. Both sides still fighting their way through. Forest Troll, Shadow Priest now getting taken down. Blade Master, oddly enough, it was not the main damage output of the Orc army this time around, as we're looking at more arrows trying to find the back of that Shaman, getting it taken down here. Shadowhunter, however, gets up to level 6. You're trying to finish off more units. 30 supply compared to 39 army size. Still better for Foggy at this point and stage in the game, as we're looking at both sides just trying to clear off the remaining units, as the Berserkers now with Bloodless trying to focus down some of these units again and again. All right, trying to focus down some of these units. Are we going to see Cleave finish off some of these archers? No, we are not. This archer, however, ends up getting left behind. Expansion down to the south here. Tree of Ages nearly taken out by the creeps. Going to go ahead and retreat back now. And with this, it needs to get some repairs going and entangle this gold mine. Foggy only has 7 wisps. Will need to train up wisps in addition to saturate this gold mine, repair it, and get all of these things going. Foggy still has a little bit of gold to mine here. Only 4 minutes of mining left. Meanwhile, off to the north, still plenty of mining here. Thank you, Burrow Rush. Coming back around. Shadowhunter sitting at level 6. Blade Master sitting at level 5.9. We'll pop on out here in just a moment. Is Foggy going to find an opportunity to try and clear out one of these red creep camps on the side of the map, perhaps get a little bit of gold and do a little bit, pick up that powerful item? That is the question here. Both players want to make sure that they don't make the mistake that allows an opportunity for their opponent to come back in over the top.
A player's forces are under attack.
All right, both players just kind of jabbing at each other here, trying to get a feel for what the other is doing. Treants, however, constantly getting purged and shut down by those shamans, and while getting that pit lord that much closer to level 3. Back to Warcraft casters, our bias, Remo and Neo, that Happy gets a paladin on a random hero game. Well, Neo and Remo, they want interesting things to happen. They've cast so much Warcraft 3 over the past decade that sometimes you just want interesting things to happen more than anything else. Anyways, coming back around here, here's some repairs going down. There's a Howl of Terror healing spray trying to heal up all of those archers. Well, that Howl of Terror quickly dissipated perhaps off the detonation there. Meanwhile, Pitlord continuing to dive on in here. Level 2 Cleave over level 2 Howl of Terror as damage could continue to rack up. Difficult for that Pit Lord to actually have good Howl of or Cleave items, though, as we see Tranquility now being used by Foggy. Foggy with that Tranquility, no Hex coming across from the Shadowhunter, as that Tranquility, is on a longer cooldown now, but still able to keep much of this army alive and well. All right, a lot of healing still getting underway here, as more poking coming back across. Entangle onto that Pit Lord. Pit Lord could be in trouble. Pit Lord gets shut down after that Entangle, keeping him in place, rooted in place, perfect for those archers to try and finish off the target. Meanwhile, though, 48 supply compared to 37. Blade Master is still racking up quite a bit of damage. Still a lot of poke damage from those Serpent Wards, even if it is against medium armor, able to deal quite a bit of damage here, as archers could start to end up getting taken down here. Healing Spray trying to keep up some of those archers. One of those archers getting taken down. Healing Spray just not in time. 35 supply compared to 52. Foggy's once again trying to keep that, that army size advantage going, but still in that awkward upkeep. 52 supply doesn't have an army size advantage, and still paying the full taxes there, as we are cranking out units from both Ancients of War. All right, one base by XiaoKai. It is 2 bases by Foggy, but only for another minute. And at some point, are we going to see XiaoKai try and establish up this gold mine here? Blade Master now making its way back down to the looking for any easy targets to go after. There is a bunch of units all shadow melded here, as the Shadow Hunter places down a Serpent Ward only to have it get poked apart pretty quickly. Blade Master, in comes a Blade Storm, and this could be a bunch of dead archers here in just a moment. Healing Spray trying to heal up all of those units. One archer down, another archer down, as the Healing Spray does counteract. Healing Wave now bouncing around here, trying to keep that Blade Master alive. It is a giant pincushion for those archers, as those archers are letting those arrows fly. 41 supply compared to 51 didn't give it that much of an advantage overall, as both sides are still fighting their way through. All right, Blade Master finding another 114 critical strike this late in the game, and is the mirror image really the better call at this point in stage? The Blade Master low on mana constantly. Level 1 Windwalk and level 1 mirror image with level 3 critical strike might have been the better call, that Blade Master has just so often been low on mana. It hasn't been able to do much with those hero talents. Glad to be alive, Equix. Glad to be alive. Gold mine down to the south has finally been cleared up. Meanwhile, Foggy mining off of one base to one base now. We've been looking at XiaoKai continually just fighting well with a smaller army, and because he's avoiding taxes, he's been able to keep behind while down one base. Now that Foggy is on one base as well, what is Foggy going to do? Foggy's going to try to expand in XiaoKai's forward expansion location instead, as the Howl of Terror greatly reducing the amount of damage coming across here. All right, Blade Master going to try and fight a bunch of wisps in the back. Perhaps we'll see some detonations as well onto all of those shaman, as the Bloodlust is constantly getting removed from the Berserkers. All right, both sides still fighting their way through. Tranquility now coming in from Foggy. This is looking pretty strong, as one Ancient Protector already in that front line spot ready to get rooted. The Serpent Wards are not powerful against those Ancient Protectors and that piercing damage, as the Archer army seems to be able to just, let those arrows fly and take down all of those shaman. Grunt in that frontline slot trying to push. Meanwhile, XiaoKai does have a slight supply advantage here as Archer after Archer is starting to fall. Grunt could get taken down here. Dual Ancient Protectors with a third one here and a Tree of Life ready to start entangling the gold mine. All right, grabbing your opponent's base to maintain that economic advantage. XiaoKai could now be in trouble as all of the gold mines, well, there's no more gold mines available for XiaoKai, and this is a limited amount of gold overall. All right, we're finding this at the 31-minute mark. Meanwhile, Blademaster trying to take down this Ancient Protector here. Archers are continuing to, well, let those arrows fly and, well, trying to finish off that Pit Lord and that Blademaster as the Blademaster looks to back away again. Level 6 on the Shadow Hunter, level 6 on the Blademaster, level 3 on that Pit Lord. We may be looking at Hex as the next ability to try and stop those Tranquilities. But, well, with the Alchemist at level 6 and a Transmute available to him, well, that is really giving Foggy that final economic advantage that he needs. All right. Well, Blademaster is right here. Perhaps like some sort of reveal to actually showcase that there's a bunch of archers here. This is actually difficult for XiaoKai to guess where all of these archers are. There it is. There it is. Are we going to see the Bladestorm? Yes, we are. Bladestorm right in the middle. Archers are all going to get taken down. There goes a lot of archers right there. And that Bladestorm sliced and diced through 5 archers. Tranquility a split second late for those heals as we now see a Howl of Terror as well. Foggy down to 48 supply here as more and more units are starting to fall as well. Tranquility, well, trying to just overcome that damage, not really working out well, especially with the Alchemist's healing spray following up as well. Alchemist does have also that transmute and maybe trying to buy potions of mana from this Ancient of Wonders to just constantly get positive trades. Well, everything he touches turns to gold, so to speak. The downside, though, for him is that XiaoKai, even though he's Orc, is only running, well, 2 supply units. These berserkers, and these shaman are not very strong transmute targets. Grunts, raiders, Kodo beasts, those are the targets that you normally want to try and find and target on the Orc side, but XiaoKai isn't even offering those units. Well, I take it back. He is training up a single grunt. We'll see if that grunt gets transmuted quickly. Yeah, transmute's cooldown is, I believe, about a minute, or a minute, or maybe even 45 seconds. So with that, the Alchemist can just constantly buy clarity potions and potions of mana and constantly try and transmute a target every so often. Are we going to see another transmute again? There's some rock damage as well. Healing spray, keeping the units alive. Foggy really should be trying to transmute some units in the backfield more than just trying to keep healing spray going, as the archers are, well, relatively low on hit points. Meanwhile, the Pit Lord going straight after a lone hit point archer as the archers now coming back across the other side. All right, Pit Lord trying to retreat back. Alchemist, Potion of Invulnerability trying to retreat. There's Ancient Protectors here as well as Mirror Image. Well, making it difficult to figure out which target is the right target. Blademaster, well, needs to try and go after these lower hit point archers. And there's Tranquility once more. Tranquility, very fast cooldown again, keeping all of these archers alive. Blademaster, even with Bloodlust, having some difficulty trying to overcome that damage here as the Pit Lord gets level 2 Howl of Terror now. All right, grunts, arrows flying, and we see that Foggy did not use Transmute in that last fight, instead opting to use a lot of healing spray to keep these archers strong. Coming back around, Forward Gold Mine still has about 10.5 minutes of mining left here. Meanwhile, Ancient Protectors are getting into that front line position to try and act as a larger buffer zone, as XiaoKai could become a bit, could fall into a bit of a problem, not having enough to throw at his opponent. Especially, well, Blade Master here. Are we going to see another Blade Storm? We could see another Blade Storm right here where all of the archers are currently just standing, and that could be the problem there. There's one archer, two archers, three archers. Are we going to see four archers fall? Yeah, four archers end up falling there as the archers try and run away. Blade Master gets up to level 7. There's the mirror image, and once again goes for level 3 mirror image over higher critical strike. Blade Master now going after off to the north here. So difficult to spot which one is the true Blade Master. Will the real Blade Master please stand up, as that Blade Master has been dealing, has been able to survive just because of Wind Walk and Mirror Image. All right. Is level 3 mirror image going to be the reason why XiaoKai is able to constantly put pressure with this Blade Master here? Downside, though, is that the Blade Master is now getting all the experience. I'm sure the Pit Lord and the Shadow Hunter would also benefit from additional experience as well. All right. Bunch of potions now being used there. Shadow Hunter going to try and keep this army here. Meanwhile, more Ancient Protectors are being placed down in this front line spot again. During the day, those archers obviously cannot shadow meld, making that Blade Storm just that much more powerful. All right. Goblin Shredder joining in on the fight here. 57, 61 supply now for Foggy going up against XiaoKai's 44. Are we going to see an all-in effort by XiaoKai here to try and take over this very well-fortified expansion? Coming back across here, in comes the engagement. Goblin Shredder now looking to retreat back. Oh, the tree ants actually being forced to walk around the fence because of, well, the positioning here and taking them out of the fight pretty much. Archer still attacking from the back, able to poke across that, well, Shredder here. Repairs may be in order. Remember, the Goblin Shredder is mechanical, so healing wave is not going to, well, target that ever. And that, well, that front line is just not nearly as strong as XiaoKai would like. All right, more healing spray here, trying to keep these units well. Alchemist has not been using that, well, transmutation to try and, try and tip things in favor. Dual Circlets of Nobility drop, now picked back up. Blade Master with 1100 hit points and 9 armor. Difficult to take out, especially with Mirror Image at level 3. All right, 29 more seconds for that Blade Storm. Is he just going to constantly wait for Blade Storm, or is he going to try and guess where all of these archers are? Spots the archers are off over here, and then trying to reposition. The Blade Master, nope. Not gonna. I thought he was gonna try to use that Blade Storm position. All right, there's that Blade Storm position. Oh, wow, much faster as we are looking at more healing coming along under once more. Blade Master unable to take down any of the Ancient Protectors. A little bit of a missed opportunity, but the Ancient of Wonders only needs one more attack to try and get taken down. Mirror Image breaking free from that entangle. Meanwhile, more damage coming back across. Serpent Wards continuing to poke. 40 supply compared to 69. Archers seemingly finding behind these Ancient Protectors as we see Big Bad Voodoo. All right, Big Bad Voodoo being used here. Keeper of the Grove unable to get into that frontline spot to try and get an entangle onto that Shadow Hunter. Shadow Hunter should finally be entangled here to try and stop it, but that was a big advantage there as the Demolisher has really taken down many of these buildings as well. Pit Lord falls at level 4. Both sides fighting. 30 supply compared to 62, but I believe XiaoKai is just going to come up a little bit short right there. All right, continuing to finish off more and more units. Are we perhaps going to look at come on, transmute to that Demolisher? Nope, no transmute from the Demolisher. Foggy perhaps playing with a little bit of a handicap. We saw that transmutation used a couple of times, but it felt like he really didn't need it in order to win. He could have easily won it, I feel like, if he just constantly transmuted a unit anytime a unit showed up. You get a little bit of gold back, you deny something from your opponent, and you may lose a healing spray, but at that point, it may be worth it. Let's take a look at the overall gold mined difference. Just drastic difference there. 24,000 gold here compared to almost 37,000 gold. Well, before taxes by Foggy. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.